Okay.
Ah, okay. All right, all right. I see what you're doing. That works. I'll do that. Yep, 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 yep. All good, baby. Oh, I see you. All right, later.
yeah. So I got 9 seconds if y'all want to say something in the pregame.
Perfect.
Okay. We're gonna have 9 seconds on the clock. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're live.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Cave here in Carlsbad, New Mexico. We have the Carlsbad Cavemen in their first game here against El Dorado out of El Paso. The Aztecs rocking the black uniforms on this end of the court, and of course the Cavemen rocking all whites. Brand new uniforms tonight. Here in just a bit, we're going to be right back to get things started. We've got about 8 minutes, 8.5 minutes left before tip-off, so don't go anywhere.
Hello.
Hey.
Sorry about that. I didn't hear the voice. I had it all the way down.
Oh,
So
okay.
sorry about that.
That's all right. Thank you, thank you.
We're getting the producer's voice over the feed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Rentals.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, wanted to test things out real quick on the audio.
Turn mine off.
We're going to be calling tonight's game here. We got about 7 minutes and 15 seconds before tip-off. Looking forward to tonight's game, folks. I'm Trey here with Ruben, and tonight's first home game for the Cavemen. It's going to be a nice kind of start to the season, Ruben. Really looking forward to see what this team really holds. They lost 2 seniors last year, and that's it. So a lot of hope being put into this team and a lot of returners. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we look at, I would say, Shane Sullivan, Jacob Chavarria, and of course, Kyron Orgain are the 3 main guys I would say that you're going to look to score and to do most of the offense for this team.
Yes, absolutely. We saw a lot of it last year. They're going to continue through with it this year. Kyron Orgain, or Kieran Orgain, I'm sorry,
Kieran,
and
yeah.
Jacob Chavarria, both seniors on this squad. Now, we don't have a ton of size. The Sullivans do bring some of the size. I think it is Shane that brings the most size on the team, Ruben. Is he the tallest one on
they
our
got
squad?
him listed at 6'4",
Yeah.
with his brother at 6'2". But he's got hops too. So even at 6'4", he's got hops for 6'4".
He's
But it
gonna
looks like
play
El
higher.
Dorado doesn't have a lot of size.
Right, no, absolutely. So we're going to see, I think, a good, solid starting matchup. Now, we downloaded the record for the Aztecs this year, and really, they haven't had a whole lot of game experience up till this point. So we're going to get a true kind of starting game for the Cavemen tonight. And Coach Zumbrun is the head coach for the Cavemen, and he's got a few different assistants on his team, including a Sullivan of himself, and also
Derek.
used to be a player I think, for Coach Zumbran in Derek Sullivan. So that's going to be something that he brings to the table, is just a little bit more experience from the Caveman side of things. Micah Calderon had a lot of success at the Cavemen, for the Cavemen, taking them to the state championship as well. So they've got some guys on their staff that can bring a lot of good leadership to this team.
Yeah, I think so too. And they've got some young guys, some guys that put in some minutes last year, but really didn't stand out like I'm sure they will this year.
We do have a freshman listed on the varsity lineup as well. It is Elijah Banks, who is not listed in height, but I believe he's about 6'5", maybe 6'6". He's a very tall athlete for the Cavemen, but he is not out on the floor tonight, so I don't know if that's something that's just on the roster and he's maybe away for now or what that might be, but that could be something to look forward to in the future for the Cavemen as well.
Well, they also have a number 12 listed as a freshman, Kevin Quarles. So I don't see him out there either. Do you see?
Yeah, last year he was he got pulled up to JV as an 8th grader towards the end of the season. So I believe he's supposed to be helping the Cavemen as well, but yeah, I don't see him out there either. So we'll keep an eye out to see if either of those two players that we mentioned are out here tonight. But, oh no, Quarles is out there. He's out there shooting with the squad. So 3 minutes, 45 seconds as we prepare to get ready. Not a whole lot to say really about either of these teams. Don't have a lot of stats for either one as the season's just getting started. So after tonight, we'll have a lot more information, a lot more to reflect on. But yeah, I mean, tonight I think it's going to be a battle of who's going to play the game the right way, make the right passes, and take the right shots.
Yeah, you know, I don't know about El Dorado's record, but I know that the Cave Girls played Eastlake last Saturday, and Eastlake was already 7-1.
Wow.
So, I mean, El Paso starts a little earlier, so these guys might already have 3 or 4 games under their belt, and, you know, that helps out a lot in experience.
No, it definitely does. Okay, folks, we're going to be right back to get things started here shortly. You got about 3 minutes left on the clock. Don't go anywhere. Tag some people in. And if you're watching on Facebook, our best bet is to check it out over on YouTube, on All Sports Best is YouTube, just because that is usually the strongest feed that stays throughout. And also you can watch it on KRQE to get a viewer, to watch it through there as well. So guys, we're going to be right back here in just a bit. Yes.
Leave that up.
Yes, we do.
Just leave it up and on.
Hey, Trey,
Oh, unless Ted.
is it on All Sports Best too?
Or you can turn it off and talk to YouTube.
All right, guys, we got the national anthem. Then we'll get started at tip-off. All right, folks, just got through with the national anthem, and it is about time for tip-off as we get player introductions. We're going to go ahead and go through that as well here shortly. Hey guys, we're here at the Cave, and we are getting prepared for the Cavemen taking on the Dorado Aztecs here at home. We've got the Aztecs with their starters. Number 1, Daniel Well. Number 3, Adrian Rodriguez. Number 12, Jacob Villalobos. Number 21, Andres Gil. And number 23, Ethan Lopez. And we're going to give you, as we find out, the starters for the Cavemen. Number 2, Kieran Orgain, point guard, senior, listed at 6'1". And at number 3, Zenas Huerta, another point guard, junior, listed at 5'8". Number 11, Jacob Chavarria, senior, 5'10". Number 22, Shane Sullivan, a strong forward, shooting forward, a junior, listed at 6'4". And number 34, Brandon Sullivan, a senior, listed at 6'2". So the Cavemen with 2 Sullivan brothers on the court, and that's pretty cool to be able to play with your brother. I mean, it's not often to see that.
And then a brother as a coach. So there's 3 of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's Sullivans all the way through this lineup and coaching staff and everything like that. And there have been for years, right?
I was going to say there's probably like 7 brothers and 1 daughter.
There's been, I think there's been continuously a Sullivan
in the
relative for maybe the last,
10 years?
10 years
12
maybe?
Years?
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
for quite
fair.
a while. Yeah.
All right, so speaking of Sullivan, number 22, Shane Sullivan, tallest member of the Cavemen, is getting set for the tip-off against number 21, Andres Gil. Height not listed, but I'd say he's about 6 foot. Sullivan wins the tip-off, gets it to Jacob Chavarria as he brings things down. So 8-minute quarters here tonight as he goes to his left, gets it into Sullivan. That's tapped away, recovers, scans the court. Back over to Chavarria. Chavarria waiting on the next guy to come up. The jump shot is just off the rim. Aztecs get the rebound, and number 12, Jacob Villalobos, bringing it down. 7 minutes, 28 seconds on the clock here in the first quarter. Villalobos with it.
Good
Tosses
defense.
it out. Chavarria knocks it away. Orgain on the other side gets a soft dunk down. And the first 2 points of the Cavemen season belong to Kieran Orgain. 7 minutes, 8 seconds, and number 12, Villalobos, has had the ball he's probably going to have the ball the majority of the time for the Aztecs. The three-point shot attempt by Ethan Lopez out in the corner is no good, and on the rebound, Cavemen get fouled. So Cavemen are going to have the ball here, take the stretch of the court. Here's Jacob Chavarria. Gets it over to Orgain. Orgain waits on the screen. He gets it from Sullivan, Brandon Sullivan. Gets it over to Shane. Shane to Chavarria. Chavarria to Brandon Sullivan. The three-point shot from the corner, no good. His brother tries for the rebound. It bounces out, and it's going to be Aztecs ball. El Dorado comes out of El Paso, Texas. And the first game of the Cavemen season to get things started. They travel a couple of hours to get here. 6 minutes, 34 seconds. Villalobos with it. Aztecs looking for their first score. Lopez with it. Gets it down to number 21, Gill. Hits a cutting Ethan Lopez, and he misses it. The rebound goes to Daniel Well, and that one comes off the rim, but fouled. He's going to get to the line to shoot two. So Andres Gill is going to get his first free throw attempt and the first free throws of the night. 6 minutes, 14 seconds. Cavemen lead 2-0.
That was a foul on Shane Sullivan, his first.
So the first free throw is good for Daniel Well. I think I said Andres Gill earlier. So Daniel Well at the line for the Aztecs. Completely silent gym, and you'd think it'd be loud for home court advantage, but the complete opposite. We gave him comfortability. He misses the second free throw, though.
We made him uncomfortable.
Right. Jacob Chavarria gets it to Orgain. Orgain trapped by El Dorado. They do a good job, steal the ball, and Daniel Wells going to get fouled again. So the second foul on the Cavemen happened in essentially within the 10-second span.
That was a foul on Jacob Chavarria, his first.
So with 6 minutes left here in the first quarter, Cavemen lead 2-1. Here's a three-point shot off the inbounds is good for Jacob Villalobos. So the first field goal made tonight for the Aztecs comes in three-point fashion. Jacob Chavarria over to Orgain. They get it down past half court. Chavarria thought about shooting the three, but El Dorado's got some pretty heavy defense. Shane Sullivan gets an open lane, pulls up for the jumper, misses it, but a putback for Jacob Chavarria for two.
That was nice.
The score.
That was nice, but I thought he was going to get it over the back.
5 minutes, 22 seconds. Villalobos with it again. Pretty good ball handler for the Aztecs.
Yeah.
Gets it knocked away, recovers, shoots the jumper at the free throw line, and it's no good. Rebound Cavemen. Chavarria has a lane. He takes it, and good,
nice.
And one.
That was a nice drive.
At the basket. He took it into the basket, went left-handed, made it, and got fouled. So he's at the line for a possible three-point play. And Chavarria has already racked up 4 of the first 6 points of the Cavemen score with an attempt or with an opportunity for his 5th point right here. Couple of dribbles at the free throw line. Free throw hard off the backboard, no good. So 0 for 1 at the line for Chavarria. 5 minutes remain here in the first quarter. Cavemen have stuck with their opening lineup so far. Aztecs really just dribbling around so far. And almost got it stolen. Cavemen defense looking pretty good so far. Really kind of long, even though the Cavemen aren't very tall. They feel like they're playing really long. Arms extended and really taking up space on the defensive end. Ball gets passed down to number 23, Ethan Lopez, cutting to the basket. He misses. They get their own offensive rebound. Cavemen have forced a couple of almost turnovers, but El Dorado recovers. Finally, they get the ball. They pass it down to Huerta, and he misses the three-point shot, but Cavemen get the rebound. 4 minutes and 8 seconds, Orgain to pass the ball in for the Cavemen. They sub in Dryden Priest for Shane Sullivan. His first varsity minutes right here. So Priest gets it right away. Three-point shot is good. So immediately comes in and impacts the game. 3 points in about 1 second.
The three? Oh, okay. I thought it was a two. Nice
So
shot.
Dryden Priest comes in off the bench. And if you wonder how he's going to get things started, well, it's pretty good. 1 for 1 from the three-point shot and about a second's worth of PT so far. If he were to just not play the rest of the game, perfect average from the three-point line, and of course, an immediate impact on the court.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can't take him out at this point.
No,
Leave
he's
him
got
in
the
there.
hot hand,
It's like
baby.
roll the dice with that guy.
He's got the
Give
hot
him the
hand.
ball.
So the Cavemen so far have been moving the ball around pretty well. It seems to me, at least so far, I mean, it's very small sample size, that the key to the Cavemen's success this year is going to be sharing the ball, sharing it effectively. If there is any selfishness, it's going to be tough for the Cavemen to really flourish this year.
Yeah, for sure. They don't have the size, so they've got to move the ball quick, and they've got to take good shots.
Absolutely. It looks like Malik Mills is also in the game, got subbed in on the timeout, and a foul pretty much immediately down the full length of the court. This one's going to go against Brandon Sullivan.
His first.
So Malik Mills in the game, just came in, a junior listed at 5'7". Now Mario De Leon is coming in for Brandon Sullivan. So Cavemen just going to be at a constant state of fresh. At least that's what it seems like so far, as they've subbed in guys constantly. Tanner Cornum also in the game, number 0. So they're going to get a foul call immediately against Mario De Leon.
His first.
Mario,
we have 4 fouls.
What's that?
We have 4 fouls on for the Cavemen so far.
And I think it's what, 7?
7, and then you go on the bonus, yeah.
So De Leon is listed as a sophomore, coming in as a center, but immediately the inbounds play for El Dorado proves successful as they get a basket down under. So 9-6, Cavemen lead with 3 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock. Malik Mills gets it back over to Orgain. Orgain skips it across. Priest fakes a three-point shot, passes it over to Orgain. Orgain with a three-point shot. And looks like it's going to be tipped away by the Cavemen out of bounds. It's going to be El Dorado ball. Ruben, the three-point game just across the sport in basketball has been tremendously bigger, in the last 10 years since Steph Curry's
I was
been
going to say, the Steph Curry effect has really changed basketball.
Absolutely. So right away, Adrian Rodriguez just takes it the length of the court, gets a jump shot up for El Dorado, and it's no good. Cavemen regain possession. And Orgain tries to pass it to Cornum. It's almost taken away. Cornum regains possession and gets it over to Malik Mills. Malik using his handles to get away from his defender. Priest has the ball, gets it to Orgain. He fakes the three-point attempt. Orgain finds a lane. Does he get the charge call?
Oh.
Yes, he does.
I don't know that he was set, but I guess it could have gone either way on that one.
So El Dorado gets the charge call as they had, I believe it was number 12, under the basket, waiting for him, arms crossed. So, yeah, like when you're going to get a charge call, you're supposed to be planted. You're supposed to be
feet set,
yeah, shoulder width apart. Like there's rules to it, and in that case, it did seem like it was a last-minute decision, but Cavemen lose possession on that one. 2 minutes, 40 seconds here in the first quarter. El Dorado.
Oh, 10-second call. That was nice.
Wow.
You don't see that too often. That's a good defense.
No, you don't. So Cavemen forced a 10-second call. El Dorado couldn't get past half court in time, so Cavemen going to get the ball. 9-6. Cavemen lead with 2 minutes, 38 seconds on the clock. Priest gets it into Chavarria. Chavarria working on number 2, Adrian Escalante. And he gets it over to Mills. Mills has handles, but he
Oh.
passed it way high to corner him out in the corner, and that one's going to go out of bounds. It's going to change possession here. It's going to be Eldorado ball. Down in the corner. So they've got to go the length of the court here. Cavemen have been pretty solid defensively. I think so far one of their biggest strengths has been defense, but Eldorado has been able to break their press super easy. That is the one weakness I think we've seen thus far, Ruben.
Yeah, they've got good defense in the half court, but yeah, in the full court they're not as strong yet.
So 2 minutes, 8 seconds. Eldorado gets an opportunity under the basket. No good. They get their own rebound. Eldorado skips it back over. Number 24, Jason Montoya with it, and Mario DeLeon gets his second foul already in this game, I believe in, what, 3 minutes of PT so far?
Oh, yeah,
so
or less, yeah.
he's going to get subbed out now for number 21, Jonah Moyers, who's getting his first minutes of the game tonight as well. So 1:55 on the clock, and the first free throw for Eldorado is good. So it's 1-1 right after 5 fouls. After 7 fouls, it's
Yes.
2 guaranteed free throws. So the
Yeah.
first one is good.
And it changes after each quarter.
Okay, 9-7, the Cavemen lead. Here comes the second free throw. This one comes up short, and Jacob Chavarria with the rebound. Chavarria getting trapped by Eldorado's full court defense. Pretty good, pretty effective full court defense as the Cavemen have really taken their time to get down. Skips it across. Zenas Huerta tries for the three-point attempt from the corner. It's no good. And Eldorado boxes out successfully and actually draws the foul against over the back on Shane Sullivan. So it's going to be Eldorado ball at the line again. 1-1 free throw.
It was actually on Jonah Moyers.
Okay.
Yeah, they called over the back. I didn't think it was over the back, but I guess it could go on either way too.
So number 13, Quintez Floyd, is going to be taking the 1-1 opportunity, a chance for Eldorado to even the score here. First free throw's no good, and I guess we had thought that it is a 1-1 opportunity, and that's what
No,
we
we're
had
at
been
7.
told.
That's not up there, right?
Oh, okay.
We're at 7 fouls. They just don't have it listed up there. on the-
Gotcha. Okay, so Quintez Floyd misses the first free throw. And the second free throw also no good. Chavarria with the rebound again. Chavarria has been a pretty solid rebounding machine already tonight, and ball handler obviously for the Cavemen. Shane Sullivan with it, back over to Chavarria. Chavarria gets it over to Sullivan again. Huertas looks at the three-point shot from the corner. He gets to the basket and swatted out of bounds. Pretty solid all-ball swat for number 13, Quintez Floyd. It's going to be Caveman ball. So no harm done. And it looks like Kieran Orgain came out for a second. And that was when George Herrera came in, but he switched out. So Herrera now out for Orgain. Another three-point attempt. No, the fake. Skips it out to Chavarria. Chavarria with the three-point shot. He's lefty. Jonah Moyer gets the rebound. And he gets fouled. So Moyers draws the foul, and Kieran Orgain's going to bring it in from the side for the Cavemen. 1:03 on the clock. Cavemen lead 9-7. They haven't scored in a few minutes of play clock. Here is the three-point shot from Zenas Huerta, and it is good. 12-7, the Cavemen lead. The last two scores for the Cavemen have come in three-pointers from Priest and Huerta. Number 24, Jason Montoya with it, almost stolen by Chavarria. He's been all over the place defensively.
Good
Kieran
defense.
Orgain gets the steal, passes it up to Huerta. Huerta can't handle it. Kind of a tough pass there, high and in traffic, so
And he's
kinda
going
hard
out
to
of
get that.
bounds.
Yeah. So 23 seconds on the clock. Cavemen lead 12-7. And Jason Montoya to bring it in for El Dorado to Adrian Rodriguez. So Rodriguez has 20 seconds on the clock. El Dorado wants to get a score up before the end of the first quarter. Caveman defense has been pretty suffocating thus far, but a jump shot by number 24, Jason Montoya, goes in, so it's 12-9. Caveman with 5 seconds left. 3, 2, Priest has 1 second. He passes it away, and no time for the Cavemen to score. So Priest could have put up another 3-point shot with little time left, but he passes it away to let time expire. So we're gonna get a minute of a minute between quarters.
No, I was going to say, I feel like they should be a shot clock right, or the time right behind the basket, so you know, instead of having to look up.
Exactly. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break and be right back. All right, folks, so as we've seen so far tonight, Ruben, I mean, I think the key to the Caveman offense is going to be the, pass game. If they are able to be unselfish with the ball, which they have been so far, they look pretty good. Defensively, I think they just got to keep the gas on the lockdown defense.
Yeah, their defense, of course, it'll improve as the season goes on, but right now it just looks like they're staying in front of their man. They're making it difficult to make passes and take good shots. So if they can do that and they can get that offense flowing, then they can be pretty good.
100%. So we've got 3 seconds left here in between quarters as we prepare for the second quarter here. So the Cavemen put out on the court the two Sullivan brothers, Jacob Chavarria, Huerta, and Orgain.
So the original starting five.
All right, guys, we're back here for the second quarter. 12-9, the Cavemen lead. 8 minutes to start things off here in the second quarter. 8-minute quarters. El Dorado sloppy passing, almost gets a turnover, and it does. So Ruben, we saw a backcourt there, but I don't think it was a backcourt.
He touched it. The defender touched it, so
yes,
it shouldn't have been a backcourt.
I agree.
But hey, we're not the referee, so we'll take it.
I guess when a bad call works in our favor, sometimes it doesn't hurt as much.
It like evens out, because in a little while we'll get one the other way.
That's fair enough. All right, so the Cavemen have the ball. Orgain gets it over to Huerta. Huerta with a 3-point shot again, and this one no good. It's going to be rebounded by Floyd for El Dorado, and now Jacob Villalobos with the ball, the top ball handler for El Dorado tonight, and it's going to be a foul. A moving screen against Quintez Floyd, and it's going to be a turnover, Caveman ball. So sloppy play by El Dorado thus far. They look like a pretty decent team, to be completely honest. I think it's a decent matchup tonight. It's going to come down to who is going to be cleaner, I think, on the, turnovers tonight. So Chavarria has a good eye. He saw Shane Sullivan wide open down low, throws him a pass, a bullet. Sullivan not able to handle it, though. It bounces off of his hand, goes out of bounds, and it's going to be El Dorado ball. 7 minutes, 8 seconds here in the second quarter. Villalobos having to deal with Orgain tonight has been tough. Orgain again knocks the ball out of bounds, and he's just continuously keeping himself, really, I mean, no better way to put it. He just stays long on the court. His hands are out, his legs are wide, like he's making
quick.
sure. Yeah,
he's got quick. all the positive things you need.
Yes, absolutely, especially for a elite defender. It's what he's been so far tonight. So El Dorado continuing to pass things around the perimeter mostly. Number 3, Adrian Rodriguez gets it over to Villalobos. Villalobos tries to drive it, pulls up for the jumper. It's going to be a Brandon Sullivan rebound, and Chavarria to bring it down. 6 minutes, 30 seconds. Chavarria over to Sullivan. Sullivan left alone up top. Gets it back over to Chavarria. Over to Orgain. Orgain, they're just trying to find somebody open. Chavarria for the 3-point shot, and it's good. Number 11, Jacob Chavarria for 3 points, and 15-9. The Cavemen extend their lead to 6. 6 minutes, 5 seconds here in the second quarter, and it's been a pretty solid half for the Cavemen and a good start to the second quarter for sure. El Dorado not able to make it go down in the post. Three-point shot attempt. That one's blocked by Shane Sullivan. And Ruben, we talked about not having like height, but we have length.
Yeah.
And it's a weird thing to like try to explain, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to have height, but if you got long arms and you can
jump.
Yeah, it helps.
Absolutely. 5 minutes, 35 seconds. El Dorado still with the ball here. Number 3, Adrian Rodriguez with the three-point attempt. No good. Shane Sullivan taking it the length of the court, the big man for the Cavemen. Gets it over to Chavarria after breaking the press. Pretty solid job. So Sullivan's gonna be multi-talented throughout this year for the Cavemen for sure. He's brushed up on the ball handling skills as Chavarria has it up top. Cavemen just kind of taking their time, the three-point line, passing it around. Brandon Sullivan gets it to his brother Shane down low and no good. And the rebound attempt by Brandon Sullivan is going to be a foul as he went over the top. That's his second foul of the night. All right, Ruben, well, I mean, the dynamic between the brothers, I think, is going to be something good throughout this season. It's just tough to make a pass within the paint if you're too close and there's a defender between you.
Yeah, there's at least 1 or 2 defenders, and that's what happened in that situation. I feel like Shane Sullivan kept trying to get the ball in the low post, and Jacob looked at him, but I think after last time, he's got to get it just right. Yeah, so he's hesitant, but he's got to kind of do a high lob into there, and he can probably get it.
And that's what these kind of games really do, is it kind of opens you up to feel like a comfortability over time. You don't catch that pass, next time you give him another chance, you know what I mean? Like it's going to take some time to get comfortable there. 4 minutes, 53 seconds, and Daniel Well passes it back out. This one, the three-point attempt from Adrian Rodriguez goes, and it makes it 15-12. Pulls the Caveman lead down to 3. Shane Sullivan over to Orgain. Orgain back over to Sullivan. Sullivan gets it to DeLeon, who just came in. Mario DeLeon, the sophomore. And Shane Sullivan again.
Nice.
He's been all over the court in a nice jump step, I'm sorry.
And that's actually his first basket of the game, which we're used to him scoring quite a bit. So if he gets going, it'll be
good
pretty
job
good.
by number 0, Tanner Cornum, to get the steal on the other end right away. And the Cavemen are going to hold possession here after the steal went out of bounds somehow. Tanner Cornum to throw it in here. Tosses it over the top to Mario DeLeon. The three-point shot from Mills is good. On the move. That's a tough shot to make, Ruben. At the high school level, you don't see that a lot.
That's a Steph Curry type shot.
It is, absolutely.
Off of the screen.
So Malik Mills, after the three-point make, immediately turns around on the other end and fouls. But Ruben, on that one, he had his hands up, but his whole body was leaning against the ball handler. So yeah, it's a foul. Like, you can't just have your hands up. But that's something that little coaching will help him learn, and that's something that you get used to as well. 3 minutes 56 seconds on the clock. Cavemen lead 20-12, and they're going to try and look to extend their lead. Mills trying to put the defense on Adrian Rodriguez. El Dorado just continuously passing it around the perimeter. 3 minutes, 35 seconds on the clock here in the second quarter, and El Dorado just holding on to find the perfect shot. Here's a three-point shot attempt, and it was good from Adrian Rodriguez, who's had a few tonight. 3 minutes, 20 seconds here in the second quarter. Orgain brings it down. El Dorado opting for the half-court defense now. No full-court press. Orgain with a tough three-point shot. This one rolls around the rim and goes out. But it was a tight shot there. Defender right up against him. 3 minutes remain here in the second quarter. El Dorado,
nice defense.
The steal from Orgain. It gets taken back from El Dorado. Three-point shot again. El Dorado almost goes in. It rims out. And the rebound from El Dorado. Second attempt, no good. Mario DeLeon grabs it, rips it from the defender, and gets it over to Orgain. 2 minutes, 35 seconds. Orgain gets it stolen there by number 1, Daniel Well. And Orgain could have been called for a goaltending there by hitting the rim. When you make the rim and the goal shake, you can get called for a goaltending. Referees didn't call it, but definitely could have been up for that as the lay-in doesn't go in. The fake on the breakaway for Daniel Well does not go in after Kieran Orgain runs to try and block it and hits the backboard with his hand. So number one, Daniel Well ended up getting fouled after the fact, and the first free throw is no good. So Cavemen lead 20-15 with 2 minutes, 27 seconds here in the second quarter. Not a high scoring game, but not a slow game by any means either.
No, it's been fast moving, just not a lot of balls in the basket.
No. All right, Daniel Well with his second free throw attempt. That one is good, so 1 for 2 on free throws there. 20-16, Cavemen trying to add to their lead here before the half. 2 minutes, 20 seconds. Zenas Huerta gets it over to Chavarria. Back to Huerta. They're trying to work the ball in, Ruben, is what I'm seeing. They're trying to see if they can find their guy in the paint, see if they can get him posted up and get an open pass in there. They get it into Jonah Moyers, but he tries to pass it out. This one's deflected out of bounds. It's going to be Caveman ball into the basket. And Shane Sullivan's coming in for Dryden Priest. So Priest just kind of comes in, helps get some of his guys some breathers, and, you know, pops a three every now and again.
Yeah.
2 minutes remain here in the second quarter, and it is number 4, George Herrera, that passes it in, gets it into Shane Sullivan
nice
with the beautiful finesse touch off the backboard. So the spin move, he took that finger roll off the backboard at an angle that seemed impossible, but the spin kissed the backboard just so perfectly.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, I feel like they got to get him the ball more.
Absolutely. So Jacob Chavarria steals it again. 1:30 on the clock. Gets it over to Huerta. Huerta gets fouled. And at this point, it feels like we've got to be getting to the line pretty soon. If not now, it's going to be the next one. So it's got to be the 4th team foul, right? No,
Yeah.
It says 2nd team foul on the scoreboard. I don't know if that's correct.
Yeah, I'm not keeping him from both halves, so I'm not sure.
1:30. Second quarter. 22-16. Cavemen lead. Huerta with the ball, trying to get this one. As he drives to the basket, he gets pushed, so they're going to call a foul there.
It's at 23.
So the 4th team foul now for the Aztecs. Now, they say it over the loudspeaker, but we don't have it on the scoreboard, so we're having a hard time keeping up. So Herrera passes it into Jacob Chavarria. You can throw it just in his vicinity, and he's going to make a catch. He's athletic.
Yeah.
He can get up as well. Here's a shot from Herrera. That's an air ball, and it's 1:05 seconds remaining here in the second quarter as El Dorado brings it down the other way. El Dorado again trying to get the foul call there, at least push through the defense, but no success here. El Dorado struggling to find any breathing room against this Caveman defense.
Sometimes it just doesn't even look like they're trying to shoot. They're just trying to get the ball to another guy.
It looks like they're trying to waste clock. Another bad pass. This one's going to be Zenas Huerta, and he's going to take it to the basket. The breakaway is good, and it's 24-16. 32 seconds remain here in the second quarter. The Cavemen are going to want to try and get another turnover before the half. And they just do, and they do just that. A rebound off the missed shot. Here's Jacob Chavarria. He's looking for an open shot. He gets the fadeaway jumper to go. 12 seconds remain, and Chavarria has been playing well.
Yeah, that's the big difference from last year is he's taking the shots.
Yes, he is. He's a lot more confident in his shooting game. And there's a three-point shot before the half for El Dorado. That is good by number 1, Daniel Well. And that's going to be it for the first half, folks. 26-19, the Cavemen lead. And the Cavemen looking pretty good, especially defensively. Guys, if you're watching this, give us a hit that subscribe button over on All Sports Best. If you're listening, if you're not but you got to go and you want to be listening to it on the radio, you can listen to it on 96.3 FM. You can there's a couple of options on YouTube, including Carlsbad Radio and All Sports Best. So we're going to take a quick break here as the cheerleaders do their thing, and we'll be right back. Thank you. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Cave. We're still here at halftime, but we have the Cavemen leading 26-19. We got about 4.5 minutes during half. We got the dance team doing their thing after a couple of technical difficulties, but dance team and cheer team good this year, really good and fun to watch. I've enjoyed it, and we've had a podcast with them, as a matter of fact, so you can check that out on All Sports Best on YouTube. But tonight, the Cavemen have been a unit defensively. Ruben, what do you think?
Yeah, they've looked really good, and defense creating into offense has been what their transition has been great, because they're getting some steals and some fast break points.
Yes. If I were to say their biggest point converters going to be not plays, not based on three-point shots, but it's been off turnovers 100%. So, yeah, they've been able to translate from defense to offense very, very well, and I think it's going to be the difference in tonight's game if they can continue that in the second half.
Yeah, and I feel like they can create and get open looks by just moving the ball quick. And you got guys like Huerta that are hitting threes and getting more comfortable with it. And Jacob Chavarria that's not afraid to take it to the basket or pull up a three from wherever, where he wouldn't do that last year.
I say role players have been a big part of it too. I mean, being able to come into a game and not affect it negatively is really a big thing, because I know it's game one and I know we're trying to kind of get a feel for what everybody's role is, but everybody that's come in has not been like, you know, like I said, a negative effect. They've not been coming in nervous, turning the ball over, taking bad shots, not passing. I mean, they come in, they're making smart passes, they're handling the ball, and if they're not a ball handler, they're securing the ball and getting rebounds. So, I mean, really, there's been a lot of really good things that we've seen from the Cavemen so far.
And although you can't see the nervousness on the court, I'm sure a lot of them are nervous because, you know, first time on the big stage, it's something.
Yeah, and a pretty good crowd tonight as well. I mean, we've got, you know, plenty of spectators here on the Thanksgiving break. We're going to have more as the season progresses, I'd imagine. And especially if the Cavemen can get some more W's throughout, you know, the beginning of the season, it makes for a little more hype and a little bit more talk around town. So if you're listening now, it's a great, you know, season to come out and just support your squad. The Cavemen rocking their brand new uniforms too.
Yeah, those are sick. I guess the Jordan, right?
Yeah, Jordan brand new uniforms, all white. Just kind of going with the very basic fundamentals on the design, really, is what it is.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so El Dorado, let's talk about El Dorado a little bit. El Dorado has been struggling offensively, at least their half-court offense. Their full-court offense has been pretty solid, because when the Cavemen were doing a full-court type of press defense, El Dorado's had no problem breaking through it. But when the Cavemen hang back and they have to face the Cavemen zone, it has been a nightmare offensively for the Aztecs.
Yeah, they're having to take tough shots in the half court for sure. And without a big size or a big guy in the middle to kind of, you know what I mean, move the ball through, it makes it tougher, because they're just, I feel like sometimes they're just moving the ball as fast as they can, like hot potato.
I think the thing that the Aztecs could really use, like you said, is a central, like, not necessarily a central ball handler, but somebody that they can go to as a way to distract from the three-point shot. They can shoot threes. We've seen it.
Yeah.
They have guys that can take shots, but there's really all that they've really been doing. So
yeah,
once you kind of just close off all the other opportunities, it's easier to defend their one element that keeps them going.
Right.
All right, guys, we have 30 seconds remaining. Here, we're going to get the Cavemen started against El Dorado in the second half. And again, I mean, decent crowd here tonight, I'd say. What would you say, Ruben? You're better on the numbers than I am.
On the numbers, I would say guessing 320 people.
Yeah,
got 323.
Wow. Yeah, there you go. Let's get precise with it.
I counted them as they came in, one at a time.
So 10 seconds remaining in the half, and the Cavemen going to get Shane Sullivan to pass it in to Chavarria. It looks like we're going with the starting lineup once again. Huerta, Orgain, Sullivan, and Chavarria in the second half. Orgain gets it over back to Chavarria. Chavarria to Huerta. And the Cavemen, again, just going to get a feel for this defense, maybe to see if they're going to make any changes. And Chavarria again trying to push that ball down into Shane Sullivan in the post, but this one deflected by the defense. So it goes out of bounds. It's going to be Caveman ball under the basket. They're going to maybe run an inbounds play. No, just Chavarria bounces out to the three-point shot, and he gets this one to bounce around. I was going to say he gets it to go, but it all but went in.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say.
7 minutes, 30 seconds, and El Dorado on the other side, handled by Adrian Rodriguez. He gets it over to Jason Montoya. And Aztecs really just looking for a three-point shot is what it's felt like mostly tonight, unless it is a breakaway. But as much as the Cavemen aren't very tall, they have used their length to really kind of dwarf the El Dorado squad. I mean, it feels like they're tiny when playing against the Cavemen right now.
Yeah, it does. Long arms help.
Orgain gets the steal, passes it over to Chavarria in the corner. This one comes up short, and it's going to be El Dorado ball. Number 1, Daniel Well passes this one down in the fast break, and they put some pressure on him early to keep them from getting that easy basket. Cavemen playing some tough defense again. 6 minutes, 40 seconds. Cavemen lead 26-19, and Cavemen continuing to suffocate this El Dorado offense. And Shane Sullivan gets the rebound off of a missed three-point attempt from the Aztecs, and he's going to bring this one down, gets it over to Huerta. Huerta drives to the basket, drives baseline into the basket, gets it out. Now Chavarria tries to pass this one into Sullivan, but there was no lane for it, and it's turnover. 6 minutes, 15 seconds. And a drive down the lane from Adrian Rodriguez. Gets tripped up, and he's going to, let's see who the foul's going to go to. It's going to go against Brandon Sullivan. That's his third foul of the night. And Ruben, 5 is when you foul out, correct?
Yes.
At the high school level?
High school, yes.
Okay. 6 minutes, 11 seconds. El Dorado trying to get a shot early. There's a jump shot, and it's good. Just a step inside of the three-point line for number 24, Jason Montoya, who's been probably one of two of the only scorers really tonight for the Aztecs. 5 minutes, 55 seconds. Chavarria gets it over to Huerta. Huerta back to Chavarria. Chavarria to Orgain. And they're just passing this ball around to get a feel for what they can maybe unlock inside. It looks like De Leon has some kind of a lane, but he's not demanding the ball. And Ruben, how much of a difference it can make as a center if you demand the ball?
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's one thing that Brandon Boatwright used to do back in the day, and of course he had the size too. Sullivan doesn't have the same size, and De Leon doesn't, but if they can get low and use their body, it can help.
I think the biggest thing about demanding the ball is being able to be in position and showing confidence. Like, hey, I do want the ball, I can handle it. If you show that you want it, then that ball handler is typically going to at least look your way a few extra times. And there's a first made free throw of 2 for Shane Sullivan. 27-21, Cavemen lead. Here's Sullivan's second free throw attempt. This one is good. So 28-21 with 5 minutes and 26 seconds left on the clock. Aztecs bring it down. Cavemen going to go ahead and stay with the half-court defense. Not going to press them. 5 minutes, 15 seconds. And El Dorado, again, trying to see if they can penetrate, but really that's not been the case tonight. And that's a double dribble 100%, but referees didn't catch that one. The three-point attempt, no good. And Chavarria with another rebound. Chavarria has to have 6 or 7 rebounds tonight so far. There's a three-point shot from deep from Kieran Orgain, and that one's good. So 3 more points tacked on for Orgain. It's 31-21. Cavemen lead by 10, their biggest lead of the night so far. 4 minutes and 50 seconds with a timeout, folks. So we're going to take a break on radio and be right back. All right, folks.
So I feel like the big 3 are their main scorers right now. You got Orgain with 5 points. You got Chavarria with 9 points, and you got Sullivan with 4 points, or 6 points. So that's the bulk of their offense right now.
No, absolutely. So a 10-point lead for the Cavemen. And yeah, their leaders have been showing that leadership in a big way. All right, folks, so 4 minutes and 50 seconds left here in the third quarter as the Cavemen are going to be on defense coming out of the timeout. So DeLeon has gotten a pretty long extended period of playing time here in this third quarter, which has been good for the sophomore. He's done a good job, couple of rebounds tonight, shown his presence on the defensive end as well. And right here, Aztecs put up a jump shot on the move. It's no good, tapped away by the Cavemen. It's going to be El Dorado ball under their own basket. 4 minutes, 35 seconds. As El Dorado gets the ball in, Caveman defense continuing to suffocate this Aztec offense,
nice
but
shot.
a good play there by number 12, Jacob Villalobos. He drove down to the basket, and I don't really know how that ball got up and through the extended arms of the defender, but it gets in. So 31-23, Caveman lead. Orgain with the jab steps, a couple of them. Does the spin move on the way to the basket, and the jump shot is good. So he cut from the corner in towards the free throw line, did a spin move. The jump shot was good. So Orgain showing the athleticism here on that play.
I feel like any of the big three can have that shot all day. Like they've got those kind of moves and quickness to get to the basket.
100%. So El Dorado scores on the other end. That's number 1, Daniel Well. Quick score for El Dorado as the Caveman defense laps for just a second, unusual for the Cavemen. But on the other end, Kieran Orgain with a three-point shot.
Starting to heat up.
So quick offensive moves from both teams on back-to-back possessions. 3 minutes, 22 seconds, 36-25. A jump shot again here for number 12, Jacob Villalobos. Aztecs get their own ball, get their own rebound, and a travel on the ground off the offensive rebound for Daniel Well. So what happened was he got the ball, went down, and tried to, I guess, move.
Yeah, he was moving his feet as he was getting the ball, but he had full possession of it, so that's why they got the walk. But he kind of looked puzzled, like, how did you call a walk on me on that?
Could you imagine if you could just stand up and, like, to the point where you're so strong you could stand up without getting a travel call off the ground? 3 minutes, 8 seconds on the clock here in the third quarter. Caveman with the ball. Shane Sullivan can handle it. So he's got the height. He's also got the handles a bit. But here almost loses it, so I kind of backfires on me saying that, as the Aztecs are going to take over here off of a jump ball. Number 23, Ethan Lopez, to pass it in for number 12, Jacob Villalobos. Dryden Priest comes in for Shane Sullivan. And the Cavemen have a few newcomers on the court all at once. It's Priest, Moyers, and Cornum all at once, and Mills, all new to the varsity program. Got Orgain there taking it down all the way. He shoots a, what do you call that, a teardrop, misses it, and then gets his own rebound, puts it back. So Orgain doing it all here offensively and defensively.
Well, he's starting to get hot. He's already at 12 points. Those 2 threes and the 2 twos just in the second half.
Based on just like his steals and ability to just affect the game, I think double-doubles should be pretty much automatic for him.
Yeah.
2 minutes, 25 seconds. Caveman lead 38-27. Dryden Priest with the ball up top. Gets it over to Moyers. Moyers out to Mills. Mills got 2 defenders on him. Gets it over to Orgain. Orgain's got some space. Got 1 defender to beat. He gets help. The double team forces him into a turnover. Now number 2, Adrian Escalante with the ball for the Aztecs. And Mills almost gets the steal, but right away the Aztecs call a timeout. A smart move by the coaching staff. Caveman lead 38-27. We're at a timeout here. A full timeout.
Yeah, so to me, even with that group right there,
and we're going to be right back.
I feel like even that, okay, even with that group right there, I feel like they're young, inexperienced. The only one with a lot of experience was Orgain on the floor, but they
Right.
were still playing great defense and moving the ball well.
Yes.
So that's good. I don't know, transition defense.
Well, I think what we're seeing tonight from these seniors and these upperclassmen and juniors is a lot of good leadership, because that doesn't just happen, right? I mean,
Right.
we've seen really athletic, good teams that have no depth because it's all about the top three on the squad,
Yeah,
or
or
whatever.
the top player. They got to get it to
Right.
him so he can get all the scoring.
And
And if he's not scoring, then
they don't know what to do because it's all based on one guy. This team, I think, they benefit from not having a singular scorer, just a one superstar. It is all about, let's get I mean, it's clear. We know Kieran Orgain is going to be one of their top players, but so is Jacob Chavarria, so is 3 other guys that are going to be a big contributor, including Sullivan.
Right. Yeah, so if they can get these other guys to contribute enough and have good nights, then they're going to be tougher to beat because you don't have to worry about 1 or 2 guys.
Exactly. All right, guys, here at the Cave, the Cavemen lead 38-27. A minute 55 remaining here in the third quarter, and it is Jacob Villalobos with the ball here for El Dorado again, and here's a jump shot there for Quintez Floyd, but it's no good. Cavemen with the ball. Orgain, the no-look pass out to the corner to Cornum, and this one no good. But a nice play and a good look at the basket there. A minute 30, and El Dorado dribbling all around the perimeter, just trying to get an open shot, having a hard time. We talked about it during the break. This Caveman team with a young lineup right now. 3 guys that are juniors that hadn't played last year on the varsity squad, I don't think at all. Maybe 4 guys that hadn't played at all last year, and they are really keeping the pace. There's a 3-point make for Jacob Villalobos for the Aztecs. Going to make it 38-30. So a tough shot there for the Aztecs, and it goes in. Here's Cornum, passes this one to Orgain.
Nice
in the air,
shot. Oh.
almost gets it to go. That one was a nice play there for the Cavemen, but even better play on the other side by Quintez Floyd. Goes coast to coast and finishes at the rim on an up and under. There's a 3-point shot attempt by Malik Mills, and quickly Cavemen get it across and just take a 3-point shot. So 25 seconds remain on the clock. Ruben, we remember there is no shot clock in high school basketball. As long as you don't have a defender within, I think, 5 feet of you, you can pretty much dribble out the clock. So Cavemen kind of shot it too early almost on that one. And the Aztecs able to score yet again.
And they're back in it now.
We talked about the Cavemen not skipping a beat, but it feels like it kind of is that way. And Orgain not paying attention to clock. So no clock management led to another lost opportunity on a couple of points. He made the 3-point shot, but it was about 2 seconds after the buzzer.
Yeah, for sure. They were up 9 points just a minute ago. Now they're only up 4.
So 38-34, Cavemen lead as we go ahead and take a break on radio. All right, so guys, just in between as we head into the fourth quarter, Cavemen kind of putting themselves in a little bit of trouble. I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't see like a lot of faults, I guess, in the defense. El Dorado just made some really good plays. However, when you start to see them get hot, there's got to be a timeout or there's got to be some personnel changes. We didn't see any coaching changes in that.
Yeah, break the action up a little bit, kind of get them to where they're kind of like, hey, you guys are good, let's go.
Right.
Get your feet under you again or something. But yeah,
the
they got
momentum was all in the favor of El Dorado for the last, 45 seconds?
Oh, for sure. I mean,
it translated into about 6 points.
Uh-huh.
So 38-34, Cavemen hanging on to that lead only by 4. But now in the game for the Cavemen as they start off the fourth quarter, it's Shane Sullivan, Jacob Chavarria, George Herrera, Brandon Sullivan, and Zenas Huerta. So here we go, folks, starting off the fourth quarter. Cavemen lead 38-34. Chavarria gets it over to Sullivan. Sullivan gets it out to his brother, Brandon. And Sullivan again gets it after it gets knocked away. And it looks like the Cavemen take a timeout there right away, and it felt like it was a little too soon. I don't know, Ruben, what do you think?
Yeah, well, I don't know if he thought that he was in trouble or something that he meant. So maybe he called it too soon. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
or
Like,
maybe the referee called it later than, because if he would have called it
Yeah.
about 3 seconds earlier, we would have said, okay,
okay,
we
that makes
get it.
sense. Yeah.
But so it's always just kind of, I don't know, perspective, I guess. But we got a short timeout, and we're going to get things started here shortly. 38-34 as the Cavemen pop back out there. It's going to be Caveman ball again. And if the Cavemen can settle back into their first half self of just making sure they move the ball well and create turnovers on the defensive end, they're going to be in really good shape here for the fourth quarter. I'd have no worries, but after the end of that third quarter, it makes you a little bit nervous.
Yeah, for sure.
So Sullivan there getting defended pretty well.
Nice.
Gets it down to
Nice pass.
Herrera, who has I think he's the shortest man on the court right now, and he made points in the paint. So, I mean, it can happen by through anybody, really. So
Yeah.
good play there by Herrera, just heads up play by Sullivan to see him down in the paint. 7 minutes, 12 seconds. El Dorado passing around the perimeter once again.
See, I feel like our defense is stepping up a little bit more right now.
They have to have that energy again that they started off the game with. It felt like a fresh new look for the Cavemen. And it's going to be a foul there against Brandon Sullivan. That's got to be, what, his fourth?
Yes, it is.
So Brandon Sullivan has had 4 fouls on the night. He's got 1 left. If he's going to stay in this game, I'd imagine Zumbrun's going to bring somebody in for him pretty soon. But, of course, it being the fourth quarter, you might just ride it out.
Yeah, that's
and
exactly
see how
what I would
long he
think.
can stay in there. If Brandon Sullivan can give you another 3 minutes of playing time in the fourth quarter, I think it's gonna be a helpful for the Cavemen. But off the inbounds play, El Dorado's able to score immediately, and that brings it to 40-36. So 4-point lead by the Cavemen. 6 minutes, 30 seconds, a 3-point shot right away from Shane Sullivan, and Cavemen really haven't settled into themselves. They've just been putting up shots quickly.
Yeah, they've changed what they were doing in the first 3 quarters, and it's hurting them a little bit.
All right, so another open look there for El Dorado, and Caveman defense has been giving El Dorado lots of easy jump shot looks, but they don't make that one, luckily for the Cavemen. But a turnover on the breakaway off the rebound, but deflected by El Dorado out of bounds. So it's going to be Caveman ball under their own basket. But El Dorado is not making it easy. Their defense is picking up energy. Their offense is more in tune as well. And Cavemen having more and more difficulties with that. So with 6 minutes and 5 seconds, the Cavemen have had their lead depleted down to 4. And we've got Huerta trying to drive to the basket. He skips it out to Herrera, and it looks like it's going to be a foul there on Floyd. No, it's going to be a foul
22.
there on number
Martinez.
22, David Martinez, senior for El Dorado.
That's one thing for El Dorado. They're not really in foul trouble at all. There's only 2 with 2 fouls and 3 with 1, so
right,
they can do whatever they want.
No, absolutely. So the inbounds play goes to Chavarria. Chavarria gets it back over to Brandon Sullivan. Sullivan back to Chavarria. Chavarria trying to find the lane. Looks like he's going to take the jump shot, gets it out to Herrera. Herrera out to Chavarria from the 3-point line. It's it. Good! Goes from the top.
That's his first scoring of the second half, which is unusual.
Yeah.
And he's up to, what, 12 points.
So his second 3-point make of the night comes in a big way, and it's going to be, it looks like a charge call.
Maybe it was the offensive. Maybe he pushed off as he was
Okay.
spinning around him. That's on number
Could have
1, right?
been. I felt like that was kind of a weak call
Yeah,
there, but it
yeah.
works in the Cavemen's favor, and of course they're happy about it. 5 minutes, 24 seconds here in the fourth quarter. The Cavemen lead 43-36, and Chavarria to bring this ball down. And again, Cavemen have to be smart with the ball if they can, you know, hold on to the ball for 20, 30 seconds and not get points, I think I'm okay with that as a coach. You know, they're not just making a quick, rash decision and not coming up with points.
Yeah.
Now, if you come down, you know for a fact in 5 seconds you can score, that makes sense. But here's Chavarria with a jump shot again. It was a good
Not
look
a bad
there.
look, yeah.
I like that possession from the Cavemen because they did take their time, and Jacob Chavarria got a great look at it. 4 minutes, 45 seconds. El Dorado, a three-point shot from the corner. This one just rims out, and a Brandon Sullivan rebound. Chavarria with the ball here. He's all alone, gets it out to Huerta from the corner, and it's good. Another three-point shot for the Cavemen. 46-36. The Cavemen come back out in the fourth quarter swinging.
Yeah.
And they've got to keep their foot on the gas, that's for sure. We've seen their lead be squashed quickly as El Dorado just kind of picks up smart points. And right now, Caveman defense back on that high energy again. And it looks like a little too much energy there as we get a foul. No,
we got
a timeout there. So almost could have been a foul there,
Yeah.
but Zumbrun gets a 30-second timeout. We'll be right back. So Ruben, what are we seeing here for the Cavemen to make it basically give me the key of the game for the next 4 minutes?
No, I feel like all they did was go back to what they were doing earlier, where they were smothering on defense and they were getting those transition points. That's what they fell back into, and that's what they got the 10-point lead now, in my opinion.
Exactly. Okay, so, all right, guys, 4 minutes and 6 seconds remain. The Cavemen lead by 10, but it's not a big 10, right? We're looking at, it's funny how, like, numbers can totally look different, but 10 points on the board right now feels more like 5 because the Cavemen have kind of fluctuated. They've had as big of a lead as, what, 14 points? They've squashed it down to 4, and it's only taken seconds to do so. So Cavemen have to be smart here, El Dorado, to bring the ball in under their own basket. All right, so El Dorado gets it into Floyd. Floyd passes it out. Looks like a turnover there again. Jacob Chavarria takes it down to the other side, and he goes up, draws the contact. He's going to get to the line to shoot two. So 2 big free throws for Jacob Chavarria. And he's been really good tonight. Between Chavarria and Orgain, they've really accounted for most of tonight's points from the Cavemen.
Oh, yeah, no. And there he did a good drive. He went aggressive, and he knew he was going to get fouled, but he thought, you know what, I'm going to take the shot anyways.
100%. So here's the first free throw attempt from Chavarria. This one smooth. It goes in on net. Pretty good amount of fanfare here tonight. We see a couple of Jacob Chavarria faces in the stands over on
hilarious,
his
huh?
sideline. You got to love it. Here's another free throw. This one doesn't go. El Dorado with 3 rebounders up. They get it. Orgain almost steals it as they come down, though. He's got some sticky fingers on the court, and it's been a huge help to the Cavemen all night long. 3 minutes, 40 seconds as El Dorado tries to work it down. Brandon Sullivan with good hands down in the post. Knocks it free, but El Dorado gets it again. So Cavemen making it difficult for El Dorado to get anything. Here's a 3-point look. A quick shot, and this one no good. It's going to go out of bounds. And it's going to come off of El Dorado, so it's going to be Caveman ball. 3 minutes, 26 seconds. Cavemen lead 47-36. Sullivan passes this one in to Jacob Chavarria as they bring it down together. And El Dorado just kind of with a half-hearted full-court press, but Cavemen able to break that easily. Brandon Sullivan with the corner 3. This one almost goes.
Oh.
Kieran Orgain almost with the putback 3. And 3 offensive rebounds from the Cavemen. They cannot get it to go, but they do draw the foul. So they will get to the line to shoot 2. I believe the person that's going to get to the line is going to be Chavarria, and it is. But Orgain almost had the play of the night with a putback dunk. We know he can get up. Last year he had a poster. It's hanging in his room, I'm sure.
It might be hanging in the gym.
Might be. So this one, Chavarria gets that free throw to go to start things off at his free throw trip. 48-36. Cavemen lead by 12. So they're gonna reset the free throw. Dryden Priest comes in. So the Cavemen right now with their 5 is Orgain, Chavarria, Huerta, Sullivan, and Priest. 3 minutes on the clock. Turnover on a miscommunication from El Dorado, and it's going to be Caveman ball. Priest to toss it in. So El Dorado has 4 fouls on the quarter. The next foul for them will get the Cavemen an automatic free throw trip. Cavemen with 1 foul. 48-36. Huerta drives to the basket, gets fouled. He's going to get to the line to shoot 2 and try and extend this lead. So Cavemen trying to secure this win. When would you say it's a lockdown for this game? Is it now, 2 minutes, 42 seconds, up by 12?
I feel like it is, unless the other team's got some lights out three-point shooters, you know what I mean, that can come back quick. But right now, I feel like with our defense, it's tough for them to get shots off. I think it's going to be tough for them to score that much in that amount of time.
Right. All right, so the first free throw attempt and second free throw attempt for Huerta, no good. So 0 for 2 on that trip. 2 minutes, 35 seconds. And El Dorado's got to start making some plays happen quickly, but no. Carlsbad gets the steal. Orgain with the deep 3. Orgain's been crazy tonight offensively.
That's 15 for Orgain.
So 15 points.
3 threes.
And you got to love it. With him being the high point scorer, I believe, tonight for the Cavemen,
so far.
They've scored 51 points. So it's not like you're looking at a full offensive takeover from one guy. It's been spread around pretty well for the Cavemen. So Chavarria getting out of trouble there. Huerta with the three-point shot. That one's good. Another three-pointer for the Cavemen.
That's his third.
Three three-pointers for Huerta. Pretty solid.
Yeah, he's got 11.
So 54-38, Cavemen lead. Another turnover, and Kieran Orgain with the dunk.
Oh.
No, it doesn't go. They get it down to Priest, and Priest gets the lay-in to go. So Priest with 5 points tonight, a good offensive contributor off the bench. A minute 20. A three-point shot from El Dorado, no good, wide open. Offensive rebound, he gets fouled down in the post. That's number 22, David Martinez. So a minute 16, Cavemen able to lock up this win pretty solid as the score 56-38. And this game was close all night long up until about 5 minutes ago. So Cavemen kind of with that closing power tonight. Gotta love to see it.
Oh yeah, those threes can, if you can get hot with those threes, it can make that game score change in a hurry.
So a minute 16. 18-point lead for the Carlsbad Cavemen, and the Cavemen starting off the season strong. And I can see this team doing good things this year, I think. Ruben, what do you think?
I feel like they got a good chemistry, and if they can just keep playing good defense and keep working the ball, they take smart shots, I feel like.
Yeah, here's Trent Cornum with a three-point shot. This one no good. Close. So just a minute left here in the fourth quarter. Cavemen continuing to put the heat on defensively. And that's what I think you want to see as a staff, really, and as a fan base, right? Like, hey, I'm watching the Cavemen play. They're playing hard all the way until the end of the game, and they're winning by 18 points or whatever, at the time. 17 points now. So 56-39. Jacob Chavarria brings it down for the Cavemen. Hands it off to Trent Cornum. Tanner Cornum. And Chavarria dribbling it around, trying to find his guy. Cornum out to Mills. Mills gets it over to Priest. Priest goes up, gets it to go, and gets to the line. A three-point play here for Priest if he can make the free throw.
I thought it was kind of crazy that the Floyd guy looked at the referees and put his hands out like that wasn't a foul. He definitely fouled it.
Complete body contact.
Yeah, even Priest with limited minutes has had a good night.
Yes, he has. What, 9 points?
No, he's at 5 points, but just he's been effective minutes, I guess.
I believe he has 9 points. I would be willing to argue that.
Okay.
Just kidding. 7's fine. 7's right. 6 seconds remain here, and the Cavemen just going to hold this one out. And that's going to do it, folks. The Carlsbad Cavemen 1-0 on the season with a 58-39 win over El Dorado out of El Paso, Texas.
That's
We're going to take
sweet.
a break, and we'll be right back for the game recap. All right, guys, welcome back to the post-game show. My name's Trey Gonzalez here with Ruben Gonzalez of All Sports Best. Tonight's radio show has been produced by Laura Whaley, April Hernandez, and Mike Brunell, and we appreciate them for all that they did. We had the show on KAMQ and on YouTube and Facebook Live as well. Ruben, tonight we saw some really good things out of the Cavemen. I think most importantly over the offense, which we're going to talk about, high point scorers and what we saw really well there, it was the defense. The defense was suffocating for El Dorado, kept their score low down to, what was it, 39 points total. And, I mean, really just making it difficult for them to see any good shots. They took some good shots and they took some difficult shots that went in. But, I mean, if you're forcing a team to make difficult shots all the time, they're going to have a hard time beating you.
For sure. Yeah, we went from giving them 34 points at the end of the third quarter to 39 in the game. So that's only 5 points, and we scored 20 in the fourth quarter. So, yeah,
incredible.
That's a big difference.
Yes, no, I mean, it was a close game throughout the whole time. We saw some, I think we saw some breakaways for the Cavemen, about a 10-point lead here, 12-point lead there, and then at the end of the game, it really just kind of exploded from there. We saw Kieran Orgain do some really good things. He had 15 points. He missed a couple of dunks, too. That would have been almost 20 points there, or maybe more, depending on if they'd have called a foul or whatever that might have turned out to be. But Ruben, we watched him do some really good things. Jacob Chavarria as well. Both of them really close to each other. Orgain with 15, Chavarria with 14. But both of them, I think, showed their leadership as seniors tonight on the defensive end and offensive end, and like being able to share the ball. And I think over everything else, we saw that like leadership. I didn't see any yelling. I didn't see any like frustration. It was like a learning curve everybody was on together.
Yeah, it was. It was good. It was good to see a good first game, and they'll just get better from here.
Absolutely. Guys, thanks for checking into the show. I'll tell you who the top 3-point shooters were tonight. Orgain had 4 3-pointers made. Malik Mills had 1. Zenas Huerta with 2. Herrera with 1. Chavarria with 3. Dryden Priest with 2. And Shane Sullivan with 2. So some big 3-point performances here tonight for the Cavemen, and their first win happens right before Thanksgiving. So a good way to celebrate the holidays, folks. Thanks for checking out the show. Thanks for listening on the radio, and we hope you have yourself a great night.